Today, we're discussing the process of divorce. The D word. Don't use it unless you mean it. Don't use it unless you mean it. And sometimes when you use it, you don't mean it. I didn't use it. I never wanted a divorce. I filed for one, but I never wanted a divorce. He forced my hand. And when provoked, you don't know what people will do. And people tend to do a lot of provoking in divorce, proving points, trying to get their way.
Well, tell you this. One thing about divorce is you'll learn who's the big fish and who's the little fish.
See, that's the problem. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with any of the fishes.
All I ain't say nothing about that. I just said that is just
So
something.
how do you figure that out?
When they break down y'all finances and who gotta pay who.
Where does that even matter? I'm talking about the.
Yeah, you're talking about the negative things. I'm talking about the semi-positive / negative.
Why? Because you learned that you make the most money. It makes you feel good. You should have known that prior to divorce.
And then
when you came back into the situation, I still had to get you right. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you made more money than me. Ooh, whoop-de-doo. What's that have to do with divorce?
I just wanted to make sure I shine a bright light on the negative thing.
It's negative. You might see it as a positive thing at first until they start telling you how much you gotta pay.
When you realize, she was nothing without you, then
I'm sorry, excuse me. Who was nothing without you?
Fellas, when you realize
who was nothing without you,
when they get to breaking down the financial standpoints of
finances
everything,
don't make me, baby.
And
finances
you realize,
don't make me, baby.
Noah didn't build the ark. You did.
You did.
It's you, fellas.
It's you by yourself.
You built that.
It was just Noah.
Just remember,
Noah alone. Was no one else.
No, he had some help, but guess what?
Who helped him?
Noah built the ark.
Mm-hmm.
When he came down,
so
when it comes to history,
it didn't matter who else was involved.
They didn't say
just Noah.
Jacob and the rest of the gang helped Noah.
Jacob?
No, they didn't say none of that. They said Noah built the ark. It rained. He gathered all the animals. They ain't say cut him down the street. None of that.
So you read the story recently?
Why gotta be recently?
Okay, when you did read the story, there was nobody else involved.
Who you know?
Y'all look it up. Y'all tell me.
Who you know?
You look it up.
You tell me. You tell me what you know right now.
No, because I'm not telling you anything.
Okay, well, how did it go?
Whatever the case may be.
Noah in the ark.
Noah ain't got nothing to do with your marriage.
So, fellas.
So, everybody,
you are the
it
ark.
Don't matter.
You are Noah. You build the ark, and you decide who to come on the boat.
No, you don't. Okay? The court does. No, you don't.
You get to decide
the court does.
who get to come on the boat.
Don't let him sit here and gas your head up about what's not reality. Reality is, it doesn't matter if you make the most. Because if you do, you can feel good in those 5 seconds prior to them telling you how much you got to pay her, and your most just became the least, and it doesn't matter. Or what you, ma'am, have to pay him, because there is the other way around.
Oh, yeah, ma'am, you might have to pay him, but positivity about that, guess what? They need your help to survive.
That's not true.
Nobody needs your help to survive. Oh, you can't say that.
Okay.
Let me
Kavana does not need your help to survive.
Pause. According to the courts, you do.
No.
According to the courts,
not true.
You do.
No, that's not true. According to the courts, you have an obligation. Not that I financially need you for the rest of my life to live. No.
You financially need me to maintain
based off of the amount of time
that
you were with someone.
To maintain the lifestyle that you have been living, you need...
Based off of what we did and grew together.
Because I don't need help. You need help. Because I can maintain... Well, I ain't saying I. In the courts...
You can maintain... You can maintain the same lifestyle.
Because you want to be personal.
By yourself. No, it's not personal. Let's be real.
Okay, in the eyes of the court, I can maintain that same lifestyle without you.
But let's talk reality.
We're not talking about reality.
Yes,
we're talking about when you go to them people, because them people don't go by reality.
Again,
they go by what
the
numbers add up to.
Then what does it matter about who makes the most?
I'm just shining positivity on the negative story.
But that's what I'm trying to tell you. What makes it so positive?
It's uplifting to me.
It's not uplifting to think, because that is a problem I feel that a lot of men have, is y'all feel like we need y'all. We don't need y'all. We want you around. We, just like you want us, we want you. I don't need anything. At the end of the day, it is a compliment. I'm talking about prior to marriage, as far as you being an individual. A woman herself don't need a man. Just like a man, let me finish. Just like a man doesn't need a woman. That's why we are always taught to be independent before you become a dependent. So you can take care of yourself before you sit yourself in a situation with someone else.
Correct.
For a woman, I can't speak for a man, but for a woman, because past has shown us that you put yourself in a situation to depend on this man, and he chooses to believe that because he is who he is in y'all's relationship, he can move the way he wants to, that he can treat you any way that he wants to, and you don't have the room or capabilities to do anything about it.
But the past have shown better examples than that too. So you can't.
But the past has also shown that as well. So women have prepared themselves for stuff like that. That's why more women work. More women voice their opinions.
Me personally, I believe, and not even about us. I believe a man does need a woman, and I believe a woman does need a man. That's why we were put here on this earth, to be as one, to become as one, to find that mate that you build and create everything you want to be with. So yes, I feel that you need that. You need that to.
So you feel like a person who decides to be single for the rest of their life is miserable, or
I'm not judging. No, I can't judge you for that. I'm just telling you based off how I feel. I feel that a woman needs a man. I feel a man I can't say if you don't, then you're just miserable, or no. I just feel as if you need. I feel like from my perspective of the Bible and the understanding of human nature, a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man.
Right. I get what you're saying.
If you choose not to, and you're living better off, and life is all fine and dandy, that's cool. I'm glad that worked for you.
So my question to you is, how can you say that people need another person? Hold on, let me finish my sentence.
Go ahead.
How can you say that a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man, but if you don't have one, it's cool? Then that's not a need. You can't call it a need if it's okay for somebody not to have it, because a need is something that you have to have. A want is something that's optional. And at that point, yeah, if you want to, that's cool. You may believe that people...
You need to eat, but they didn't say what type of food. So it's the same situation.
No, hold on. That's not the same thing.
No, hear me out.
But that's not the same thing.
No, because I'm about to break it down for you. You need a man. You may not be dating one, but you're somewhat interactive with a man. For that single person, whoever that person may be,
We're not talking about that. We're talking about relationships.
Exactly, that is that is a relationship, Kavana.
No, we're talking about a intimate relationship. We're not talking about you just me and Blythe, or just knowing people.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying. For that single woman, she's still being interactive with a man. She may not be dating one.
Interactive with.
She may not be in a relationship with one, but that's
where we're misunderstanding each other. This whole conversation, our whole role, everything is about relationships. It's not just relationships as far as any person that you are associated with.
No.
We are talking, listen.
That's what I'm saying.
We are talking intimate relationships, boyfriends and girlfriends, fiancés,
sex partners,
husbands and wives, sex partners, all of that.
Correct.
A female does not have to have that person in her life, and neither does a man. You don't have to. There are plenty of celibate people out here who don't have that kind of relationship.
What's something that you need in life?
Food. You need water. If somebody chooses to not eat,
hold on.
If somebody chooses, because you said that a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man, based off of your premise. Now, at this point, if I say food, I say people need food. So if somebody doesn't have food, I'm gonna be like, you gonna die because you not eating.
But that's not true.
Hold on. Actually, it is. If you don't eat for 2 to 3 weeks at a time, you could potentially die, depending on your body. Absolutely. So that is again, it's a possibility, and this is just my feelings. But let me finish. These are my feelings. I feel like if you don't eat, you gonna die. Right. You need to eat.
Correct.
What you're saying is you need a man, you need a woman. So if somebody doesn't have one, if you feel like they need it, what are the consequences to not having one? Because you're trying to say, because you're playing both sides by saying, yes, you do need one, but if you don't have one, it's okay. That's playing both sides.
I think, okay, so when I say you need one, I think even for the single women, I believe they're still entangled with some man.
Not always the case.
Not always the case. I'm assuming, but I feel like it's still happening. They're still going on dates. They still go out.
You feel like that's a necessity?
No,
like she has to do that.
The need is the want. Those
are two different things. The need and the want, two different things.
Correct. The need for a man from a woman, I think, is more of a spiritual connection, because, like you say, they may not be intimate, but just going on dates and things like that is still I feel considered the need of a man.
An emotional connection.
Or
again,
the
you're
need,
also assuming that a woman is doing these things. Every woman is not going on dates. Every woman is not.
True enough, because my mama ain't going on no dates. So okay.
There are several people guess what? Out there
and I
who
still
don't
think
need
she
a man.
and I still tell to this day she needs a man.
Why do you feel that way?
Because she needs her own life. She needs her own.
What makes you feel like she doesn't have one without a man? No, I'm serious. I really want to understand.
But you know my mom, so why you asking me this?
Because knowing your mom, she does do things that she likes to do. She's enjoying herself. She doesn't need a man to validate that.
But there's other things that she's clinged on to, that if she had a man, she would be less concerned about.
That's also an assumption.
I wouldn't say that's an assumption, but it's okay.
It is an assumption.
Okay.
Because you're thinking into the future.
Hypothetical, you know. Whatever it is, however they say it.
Hypotenuse.
I mean, not hypotenuse, but you know what I'm talking about. But we got to edit that out. Edit that out.
No, edit.
I messed up. But anywho, yeah.
No, yeah.
So, but
a woman does not need a man, and a man does not need a woman.
That's your personal opinion.
You're right. You can want the company of a man, and even if that's your opinion, you make it seem
a man.
No, you can want. There's a difference between need. A need is something you have to have in order to survive. I don't feel as though a man or a woman needs the other one to survive. Maybe to reproduce, okay.
But that's part of surviving.
No, it's not.
Yes,
you
it is.
as your own individual, if you want your name or your genes or your DNA to survive, that's a whole different conversation.
It's not about
But we're talking about you as an individual. You don't need a man and you don't need a woman in life. If you choose to have one, that is your choice. But you don't need one.
That is Miss Kavana's opinion. She believes that you don't need it.
Please,
it's a choice.
Make sure I'm not crazy, because I really want to understand. If you feel like they need them, then you can't say that people who choose not to have one
because then it's
are okay.
Okay, then preachers can't say, oh, I'm against gay people, but I hope you go to heaven.
I'm against gay people.
I mean, it's a sin, or it's a sin. It's a sin to or whatever, you know, about gay people. But then, I hope you go to heaven.
Because it's also in the Bible that it is a sin, but then it also says that God loves all his people. So at the same time, although you're sinning, I still love you.
But he didn't say you're going to heaven. He just said he loves all his people.
You got to say the pastor who said this, the exact words.
Well, no, I've heard it. I'm not going to say who. It doesn't matter. I got we've all heard it.
I got you. But even then, at the same time, the Bible is a contradiction in itself. It says that in the Old Testament, but a pastor also knows that the Old Testament was all the sins of the Old Testament was done by the blood of Jesus.
It's not a contradiction, because he's not contradicting himself. He's saying he understands what the Bible says, but on his own personal belief, he hopes you still make it.
Right. Okay. So what I'm saying, off that, your basis of what a man and a woman needing a man and a woman, that's not coming off of the Bible. That's coming off of you.
It is. Because God said it. God said it. A man needs a woman. He said he made a woman out of the reflection of a man.
Okay, so that's the only reason you feel that way.
No, and I mean just growing up as a young man. I mean, I'm not old yet, but just growing up as a young man, I feel, and I've seen it with friends, myself, elders, many that a woman or a man, they help. For some reason, it balance your lifestyle, your way of living. It simmers down that wildness that you have going on for some reason. Having that shoulder to lean on, or having that person to confide in, or whatever it is, that balance out the human nature between two people. So, I mean, I'm like I said, it's all opinionated because how you feel and how I feel is different. But I just feel that spiritual connection is needed between a woman and a man. And yeah, people can fight their wants. And even in the situation of gay people, like that's still man and woman to me, because somebody has
gay people, that's man and man.
I mean, or even lesbians, or lesbians, because somebody's still playing that woman role and somebody's still playing that man role. So
they're just playing a spouse role.
No, it's not a spouse role, because there is no role as spouses necessarily.
No, every spouse has a role.
Well, hold on. There's no gender. There's no gender role.
Gender role. That's why I said you can't say man roles. There's no roles. There's no
gender role.
The roles.
There's no gender roles. But you can tell when you meet those people in those relationships, who's the dominant and who's the non-dominant, in which we would say they would be the male because they are dominant, and the other person would be the. It ain't
sometimes.
Name one that you done met.
I didn't meet, but it was on TV. I seen a couple couples on TV. Hold on, TV I don't know
shows or TV
shows.
That don't count.
But I only know like a few gay couples to even.
Okay, I mean I only know a few too, so I mean
right. So I'm not gonna make an assumption about a group of people I'm not a part of. Oh no! So at the end of the day, all of them ain't the same. To say that one plays a male role, one plays a female role. They're not the same,
but I just think that's just human nature.
Okay.
Or American nature, I would say. Because,
so I mean, just basically, you just feel like people need people.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like people need people. I can agree to that, but I don't feel like a woman needs a man and a man needs a woman.
I think it is, because it's still when they become in that relationship, they're still with those roles that they take.
That's fine. I still don't feel like a man needs a woman and a woman needs a man. And I feel like at the end of the day, if you choose to be in a relationship, then that probably will work out in your favor. And if you choose not to, that can work out in your favor. It just depends on who you are and what you decide to accept in life at the end of the day. A woman who is a lawyer and trying to make partner and having this great career probably ain't got no time for no man and ain't even trying to be with no man. So that lifestyle works out great for her and she's happy in that. And then there might be somebody who's was in foster care, who's always wanted a family, and meets a guy in school who she's her high school sweetheart, and they end up having 7 kids together by the age of 26.
Time and that's definitely fine. Dictates what you feel you need at the moment.
Experience helps you dictate that.
Same thing.
I mean, not always.
Yeah, because you gain experience through time. So I mean, same thing.
For sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't feel it's a need.
Okay, well, back to the divorce subject. We definitely got a little off topic. As far as divorce, I
don't remember where I saw it at, but I saw something that said divorce is like chemo, because like if you can either die because cancer didn't go away, or you go into remission. But from what most people say with chemo, it's almost worse than just having the cancer, because of the radiation and the hair falling out and the throwing up and everything that comes with it. It's hell to get to the other side of it, whether that's life or death. And I feel like that's what divorce is. You get a divorce, it is hell. And I feel like, now we didn't sign our papers, but I feel like most people who are divorced who sign their papers wanted to sign their papers. Like, it's an amicable thing by that point. Not always, but people who are divorced are supposed to be divorced at the end of the day. So be happy for them, because they're happy too. But either you did that or y'all went through hell to come back to each other, and that could make your relationship stronger. It could do a lot of different things. It really depends on y'all. For us, it definitely made us stronger to go through all of those things that we went through. But chemo ain't for everybody. Everybody don't accept chemo. Some people decide to just wing it and figure it out on their own, and it ends up being a mess still. But
I mean, hey, the boys is real, especially when kids involved.
oh my
You
god,
gotta sit there and write down on the paper what day you want to see them, how long you want to have them,
girl.
what time you bring them back, and
Like, first of all, consultations. It costs to do consultations. Some people do free consultations, but you gotta find them. You gotta search for them. If you go to your city's website too, they even give you some like list of people who do free consultations and people who will waive your fee based off of income and things like that. But like I talked to a couple of them and they were like, you should wait a little bit longer so you'll get more money in alimony. I was like, what? Okay. And then there was like, you could put all types of stuff in the divorce papers, anything you could think of. Like one time, he was mad at me. This was during after I messed up all his stuff. He was mad at me. He didn't want to talk to me. He didn't want to answer my calls or nothing. But we had this thing where we always did bedtime. So if he was with him, he'd call me for bedtime, or if he was with me, I'd call him for bedtime. And he was not calling me for bedtime. I emailed my lawyer so quick. I said, can you please put in the divorce that nightly bedtime calls are mandatory? Like, I was not finna, oh, you not finna play with me? Absolutely. This lady finna put in everything that I can think of. And it could have got ugly, but I just feel like the type of people we are, it just couldn't have, it wouldn't have got there. It would have just been, the ugliest it could have got is with the kid. Other than that, I ain't the type, I don't want nothing from you. I don't need nothing from you. They said you got to give me this. I ain't asked for that. I don't want it. I'm that type of person. But when it comes to side, even with the child support thing, I was not putting him on child support. I was like, nope, I'm not doing it.
yeah, I didn't know that's mandatory with divorce.
Mandatory. I was like, I don't want to put him on child
Childcare.
support. I was like, oh. Because
Lady
we had out a
said,
plan. You can do a parent plan.
But that don't even last for long.
Right. She was like,
You could
how
do it
long
for
do you
a
want
year.
this to last?
Yeah.
And it was like,
Then you
can we
gotta
just
renew it.
do it till 18?
All
But
right.
even then, that's child support. Because it was like, the way that things were going, we had so many bills tied together. So I'm like, okay. And a lot of those bills tied together had to do with side. So it's like, how do we split that up in a certain amount of time? And then it's like, dang, so I kind of have to do this child support thing because the way they make it for y'all to do it yourselves is so much harder. Because I could have been like, oh yeah, okay, pay me this amount for a year, and then we can go down to this amount. But if we wanted to do it like that, we would have to go back to court and do all of this and that.
Science,
Man, we know what we want to do. You can give me this amount. I'll transfer you back whatever because it ain't even that deep. Like, we had an agreement on what we were going to do because they made it so much harder.
A lot of y'all, she wasn't talking about transferring.
He a lie.
Damn thing.
He is a whole lie because we had already had scheduled.
You told me you was going to transfer me
back money. We had already had scheduled what we had planned. And then they said, oh, you got to pay this amount. And I was like, you don't have to pay me that amount because I said this amount for a year and then this amount after that year because technically you would have paid off the other stuff.
They agreed to that part.
No, they didn't agree to that.
She did. She had it.
Because I still had to give an X amount of time for the second amount. And we didn't have a time frame for that. That's how we ended up with the child support instead.
Because I remember that she told me, she said you do the full something like usual for a year and then
it'll go down, right?
The year will come up, it'll go into what you supposed to be paying for child support.
Right. And then what you were paying before that was more.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it was like, we might as well just go with the child support because I ain't trying to get more than what I'm supposed to be. You know?
It was cheaper than what I was already actually giving you, actually.
Mm-hmm. But I mean,
see, that's the benefits of taking care of your kids and being on top of your business. Like, sometimes, like, I don't want to say it, but sometimes when they go do that child support BS, they actually end up losing. They end up getting less than what they was already getting.
Yeah, sometimes you end up definitely doing it to yourself.
Yeah, because it's like, oh, dang, you'd be like, dang, I'm talking all this crap, and then the white people don't even want to help you get more. Mm-hmm. Sometimes. I mean, but like I said, that just comes with taking care of your kids. Like,
right.
If you take care of your kids and then they tell you, oh, you only got to pay $500 a month, that's it? I've been getting this help for $200 a week.
I wasn't even tripping, though, because even with what he would have been giving me based off of what child support said, he was going to give me more than that anyway. Just through doing stuff for Saya in a sense. So yes, he would have. Saya needs some shoes. No, you're not gonna tell me to go get it out the money you gave me. He know that. He would have been like, I'll go and get them, which I don't care about. Bring the shoes, bring the money. You know I'm gonna use it on shoes anyway, because I've just never been that type of person. Like Saya gonna always get it. So, and I don't need you trying to go and tell people that I'm using your money for anything other than what it's supposed to be used for, because he be quick to want to talk bad about somebody and what they doing against him, and it ain't gonna be me, Pooh.
So, I don't talk bad about nobody.
Y'all listen, he be pillow talking.
Oh yeah, my boy,
he be pillow talking.
My boy caught me pillow talking. I ain't gonna care.
Yes, he be telling me all the tea. I know everything about y'all boys. You're just whores, okay? Whores.
Anywho, but yeah, man, it's something.
You feel so many different emotions because you like, I love this person, holidays. I love this man, and you just like one day you like, you know what? I hate him. I hate him. He did this. This is all his fault. I can't trust him. I can't stand to look at him.
It took some getting used to not waking up to my son every day.
And then the next day you like, you know what? I mean, I guess he could come over and hang out with us for a little bit. I mean, it is his house too. He's still my husband. And then the next day you like, I ain't stand to see you, bring on my nerves. You need to get out. Get out. I should have never slept with you. And then it just, like, it's so many different emotions that come with it. But embrace all those emotions. Embrace it. Because if you don't, and you just harbor it, and you just sit in those emotions, it's going to fester. And it's going to come out in a different way, whether that is physically, whether that is emotionally, in some form of fashion, it's going to come out. You might break out in hives and don't know why. Your leg might stop working and you trying to figure out what your body got going on. I'm just saying, like, some people really be having like real symptoms to anxiety and stuff like that. And like me, I pass out. My anxiety makes me pass out. If I think too deep about some stuff, I get a little unconscious. I get a little dizzy. I got to sit down. I need some water. And I gotta get my life together. So, I mean, it's serious. So, definitely take time to embrace everything that you need to in the middle of a divorce, because you can break. And you got kids, you can't break. You're not allowed to when you got kids, at least not in front of them. So, you need to be able to hold your stuff together. And when they go to school, then you have your moment and you get it out and you embrace what you need. But when they back, you good.
But if y'all ain't got no kids, man, divorce can be a simple process. We found out Florida does not do annulments.
You know, that sucks. $409. $409 in the state of Florida to get a divorce. Simple divorce. Out the door, no problems. You can do that with a child too. $409. Now that's if you're doing it yourself. You get a lawyer. The cheapest I'm not gonna say cheap. The most inexpensive that I found was about $2,900.
Yeah, that's if they ain't got to go to court.
Yeah, she was like, if everything is just, paperwork, doing the normal blase, no extra stuff. He doesn't contest to anything or anything like that, then we should be good. So he wasn't going to, because I wasn't going to pay no more money. And I talked to him before I turned in all the paperwork, everything she sent me to review. I sent to him, this look good to you? This look good to you? You cool with this? You cool with this? So when everything get through, you just need to sign these papers. We don't need to re-review nothing because we already done read all of this. So,
yeah, we done and fill our papers out together at first.
Yeah, because I was doing it myself at first. I was like, I'm going to just have this paperwork done, and then one day I'm going to just give it to him. But I really was never planning on doing it. I had just had the papers. You know what happened. I was like, I ain't gonna give him the papers. I'm gonna just hold them. I'm gonna hold them. And after that he came over. We was still all cool and collective, and he came over to my homeboy house to get some to pick up something, and he wasn't happy with what he picked up.
You didn't have no.
Yeah, hold on, listen. That was that moment, and he left. And I guess he had an attitude with me, and he got on Facebook.
No, that's not what I'm asking you.
But you said what made me file the papers.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. When you actually gave me the papers. Remember you gave me that vanilla envelope?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't. That happened like later on.
That's because that's when I finally got it. That is when I filed papers. when you went on Facebook and was doing the most. You didn't get them yet because that's just when I bought the lawyer and was like, I'm getting this shit done today. And she wasn't in town, so I had to wait 2 weeks for her to actually file them.
It's not supposed to be like you propping your hands up like you did something.
So I'm gonna just have to edit this whole part out because
What?
we was just having a conversation. We were just talking about something.
I was being funny.
I wasn't doing nothing. I just put my hands down.
Yeah, you talking about like you just getting stuff handled.
No, we were talking about when the papers was filed.
No, just your move for when the papers get filed.
No, I just don't understand what you're talking about right now.
I see your little loss. But anywho, I ain't filed no papers.
He didn't want to. He wanted me to do it.
I received everything.
He wanted me to be the bad guy.
I told her to file the papers. I remember we had a conversation. I told her to file the papers so she could make sure she get everything she want.
Like I couldn't get everything I wanted if he would have done it. He just didn't want to go through the work. He don't ever want to go through the work. They don't ever want to go through the work. They want you to do everything. They want you to give them the divorce that they want. So why he think it took so long for me to do the paperwork? It would have been done if he did it. Because if it was something he wanted, it would have been done. Me? It wasn't something I wanted, so I didn't do it. And you thought you was going to get me to do the paperwork for something you wanted while you was sitting at the house with your girlfriend laid up watching TV? How about y'all fill out these fucking papers?
Whew.